students. Today we are going to discuss the new topic. Our new topic is nucleus. Again, very important topic. This nucleus, it is come from the word. The word is called karyon. The karyon means a nucleus. You know very well. In the earlier chapter, you also studied there are two types of cell: prokaryotic cell as well as a eukaryotic cell. The meaning of prokaryotic cell: these are called primitive cell. A cell which is lack of nucleus as well as nuclear membrane is called prokaryotic cell. But here in this cell, the nucleolide is present. The another cell in which true nucleus is present. This is called eukaryotic cell. So today we are going to the detailed study of a nucleus, the major component of a cell. Visibility: we can be seen the nucleus with the help of a light microscope. The detailed study about the nucleus, it can be seen with the help of electron microscope. The credit for discovery of nucleus, it is goes to the Robert Brown. He studied the orchid cell in 1831 and he observed the part of that component of cell name is known as the nucleus. Earlier, it was also observed by another microbiologist, another microscopist whose name is called Anton Leeuwenhoek. Also observed the nucleus in RBC of fish, red corpuscles of a fish. Next question is, what is the number? The number of this component which is called nucleus, it may be vary from cell to cell. But in most of cells, their number is 1. Uni means single. It means most of cells having a single nucleus. Single nucleus. But there are so many exceptions in which the number of nucleus is more. For example, the condition 1, when the nucleus number is 2, binucleate. For example, in paramecium. More than 2 means multinucleate, in which a multi number of nucleus is present. The best example is given here, the scattered muscle cell, in which the number is small. Optelinia, it is a type of protozoa. Another fungus which is called Rhizopus, in which the number of nucleus is more than 2. That's why this condition is called multinucleate. 1 marks question that may be set up from here. So you can remember these are some exceptional in which different number of nucleus is present. But again, what is the position of this component which is called cell? In most of cells, simply you can say that this component is present around, you can see near the center. But there are so many exceptions in which this component is away from the center. It depends on very simple example which is called plant cell. In plant cell, the size of vacuole is more. As a result, this component which is called nucleus, it can be passes away from the center. It can be passing any sides. You can say peripheral instead of the center. So that's why this is the location and the position of this component. Next, we can be sure how many form of a nucleus. According to cell, the nucleus, it may be vary in shape. It may be vary in form. For example, it may be spherical, it may be round, it may be disc shape, it may be oval. So there are so many forms, there are so many shapes of a nucleus. Next, we can study what is the size of nucleus. The size of nucleus, it is also vary. It may be 5 micrometer to 25 micrometer in diameter. So this is the range of size we can study. The size of nucleus, it may be vary from minimum to as well as maximum 5 to 25 micrometer. Next, we can study the detailed structure of nucleus. So this is the major articles we are going to study. Look here, there are so many components of a nucleus. So first component, basically it consists of 5 structures, 5 components. The first one is called nuclear membrane. The second one is called karyolymph. This nuclear membrane is also known by another name, karyotheca. Again, very important questions. Karyotheca. One mark question. questions. What is the another name of nuclear membrane? Nuclear envelope. This is called karyotheca. The second component is called karyolymph. It is also called nuclear cell. It is also called nuclear cell. It is also called nucleoplasm. Very simple name. Nucleoplasm. The third component is called nuclear matrix. The fourth component is called thread-like fiber, a structure you can say chromatin fiber. The last and the fifth one is called a nucleus. So these are the five structures which are related to the nucleus. So this is the simple diagram of a nucleus. This nucleus is covered by the two membrane, one and the second. This is called outer membrane. This is called inner membrane. In between the two membrane, what is present? A little gap is present. This little gap is called intermembrane space. The width of this space may be vary to vary. It may be 200 to 400 angstrom. 400. One marks question that may be set up from here. The little gap is present. This is called nuclear pores. In simple way, we can say that nucleus, it is covered by the membrane. These are called nuclear membrane. In membrane, what are present? Small minor pores are present. These are called nuclear pore. The number may be varied. The number may be 1000 to 10,000. These small little gaps or pores are present. With the help of these pores, the material it can be entered from cytoplasm to inside the nucleus, from inside to outside. You can say from nucleoplasm to the cytoplasm. So these are the pores through which the passage of material it can be take place inside as well as outside. Next, we will going to study. These are the outer component which is called ribosome. Inside this inner membrane, small protein fibers are present. This is called nuclear lamina. So, inside what will be observed? This is called fluid components, which is called a karyolymph. This karyolymph is also called a nucleoplasm. Inside that one, the matrix it is made up of fine protein fibers. These fine protein fibers are present, which can be maintained the shape of a chromosome. They can be maintained the shape of nucleus. So these are called nuclear matrix. Next, the component which is called fine threads. These fine threads, after the condensing, what they will be made? They make thick roll-like structure. This thick roll-like structure is called a chromosome. These are called chromosomes. These chromosomes at the middle they have the primary constriction. This primary constriction is called a kinetochore. Kinetochore. At the middle point, at where these chromosomes are attached, this is called centromere. So inside the more than one constriction that may be also present, this is called secondary constriction. Or below this part, from where nucleus may be arise, this is called nuclear chromosome. Another dark stain body is also present in these fluid parts. This dark stain body is called a nucleus. Their number may be more than 1, 2, 3. That's why the word this can be used as a nucleoli. Nucleoli. The role of nucleus to make the RNA. It helps in the synthesis of ribosomal RNA. So this is the simple diagram of a nucleus. Next we will study chemical compositions. The major part of within the nucleus, which is called chromatin fiber, they are made up of protein. Near about 80% protein is present. Near about 12% DNA is present, which is for genetic material. Approximately 5% RNA is present. 3% lipid is also present. Instead of these one, some enzyme are also present, like DNA polymerase, RNA polymerase. Instead of these one, some metals elements, some minerals are also present. Calcium may be present, sodium may be present, potassium may be present, magnesium may be present, and the phosphorus, which is the major component of DNA as well as RNA. 1 marks question. Because the DNA consists of 3 components: sugar, nitrogenous base, and the acid which is called phosphoric acid, and you can say group which is called phosphate group. So that's why phosphorus is again the major component of DNA as well as RNA. Both are known as genetic material. So these are the chemical composition. One marks question that may be set up. What may be approximate percentage of DNA? So it is 12 approximate. Second question, proteins are present. What is the weightage of protein? Near about 80%, because here 2 type of protein are present: histone as well as a non-histone. Histone which are basic protein. Around the histone, what is present? DNA is present. This structure is called nucleosome, which we will study more in detail when we study the chromatin fiber in detail. Next, the function. What are the various functions of nucleus? So there are so many functions. You know very well. 1 marks question that may be set up. Which one is known as director of cell? Nucleus. Which one is called brain of cell? Nucleus. Which component of cell is involved in reproduction? Nucleus. So these are the some questions which may be set ups, because all genetic information is present within nucleus. Within nucleus, what are present? Dark stain color body is present, which is called chromosome. Or within chromosome, what are present? Gene. They are made up of small segment of DNA. So that's why DNA is called genetic material. You can say gene, these are called unit of heredity. They can be transferred the character from one generation to another. All kind of genetic information is present within the nucleus. That's why nucleus is called brain of a cell. Nucleus is called director because it can be control the all activities, all cellular activities within the cell. It is involved in the reproduction. So that's why these are the some questions. What are the major functions? So this is again the important questions. What are the major role of nucleus? So first we will study nucleus play vital roles. So first, it helps in the cell maintenance and cell growth. Second function, cell metabolism. All kind of cellular machinery, all kind of protein enzyme, these are synthesized with the help of nucleus, because within nucleus what are present gene. A particular gene make a particular protein, you can say particular enzymes. Third component, genetic information. You know very well. Within chromosome, what is present? Gene, you can say DNA. DNA is called genetic material, which can be passes the genetic information from one parent to the another, one generation to another. So that's why genetic information is present. Cell replication, because when a cell it will divide from one to another, so it will be show the duplicate copy of cell. A mother cell divide to form the two daughter cell. So this is also the under the control of nucleus. The ribosome formation. For example, look here, the nucleus is present. It is help in the rRNA, ribosomal RNA formations. And the sixth one, variation. This is the nucleus which leads to the variation. Means change in the genetic material, or simply we change the modification in the genes. So variation it leads to the evolution. Cell differentiation means different kind of cells are formed under the need of living organism. So different kind of cells are under the control of this component which is called nucleus. So these are the general function of nucleus. Okay, thank you.